Ventilation. Activate the console. How am I supposed to get over there? Oh, I guess we just jump across.
And another console.
To any human responder, the reconfiguration of this facility has introduced instabilities into the primary geothermal pipeline. It may be possible to exploit these vulnerabilities to destroy compromised elements of this facility while preserving most of the backup stabilization. Recapture imminent. I have attached additional...
I don't understand what the spirit was trying to tell us.
It's been looking for a way to defeat the daemon. And it may have found one.
The swarm.
November 28th. Operation Enduring Victory is all over the news. The Pharaoh swarm is coming. Has to be what Anita is trying to hide Firebreak from. But that means she thinks we'll lose. That the swarm will reach Yellowstone. My God. In that scenario, pretty much everyone dies. Everyone except Cyan.
Okay.
Machine parts. Dumped here to be melted down. Efficient.
We need to get across that gap.
Yeah. Looks like I'll have to go over. Again.
Again. Oh, hi. Hi.
I wonder if I can destroy that.
There we go. Most gettable man in the world. Shh, don't tell my wife that. Not who we're kidding. She knows how easy I am.
Things go sideways too.
Oh. Stuck with you until death part. I mean,
That should
with
cut
her,
off the vent
the
up
till
there.
death part doesn't take long. Ah, machines have Taco Bell as well. Okay, so we shut off that vent so we can pass by. Okay.
That's not much to stay there.
I mean, Darth Vader's gotten really intricate with his Mustafar designs. Really stepped up security. I mean, I don't see any handrails, so it's clearly the work of the Empire. Rude. You're supposed to just stand there and let me shoot you in the face.
All right, time to grab a ride.
Yay. All that to catch a ride on this, to go back. Activate the bridge.
The others will have a lot easier time getting here.
This looks like the old path. We're close now.
Getting close.
One last exchange with Anita. Via chat, attached to this entry in case anyone ever finds this. I'll never see her again. Neither will Cyan. And I've got to tell her that too.
Blast from the past. Josh, sweetie, I hope all is fine with you and your mum. Really should keep in better touch. I've taken a post in New Zealand with that program they've got for young people returning to the country. They want to be absolutely certain it's safe. At the moment, I'm making a survey of the caldera at Taupo. Blast from the past indeed. At any rate, I don't know if you already saw the Wyoming Nose Hollow. Remember that fellow Dodd Belvins? Of course you do. Well, they finally found what became of them. I've copied a good bit below. The retreat of the winter snows has brought closure to a missing person case that went unsolved for nearly 15 years. Human remains identified as those of Dodger Dodd Blevins, who disappeared in 2046, were located at Purple Mountain inside the former Yellowstone National Park. The previously undiscovered body emerged on Purple Mountain as a result of meltwater flows after an unusually warm winter. It was discovered by Faro servitors conducting a survey of the terrain. Authorities believe that the cause of death was an accident involving an antique vehicle designed for winter travel. Data correct. So the concrete, like the girl band, like, hold on. But there was a data point where basically they didn't like Blevins. And they reprogrammed a sign which caused him to have an accident.
The voice of the daemon. The altar. Desecrate.
Cyan Access. As acting chief digital security officer and interim AI administrator for the Firebreak project, I hereby state to have to updated the orbicular pattern for the Cyan regulatory AI on 17th September 2064 according to procedure to ensure against tampering, meddling, disarranging, or outlandish mischief of any kind. Such as with previous updates, after the source node has been activated, the remaining data nodes must be pathed to establish a flow between adjacent intact nodes. Jorgen Holm. Yep, it was a snowmobile. And we found a data log of that Blevins had a snowmobile that he would take out, and they
I think it's both,
never heard from him again.
but we have to find out.
Okay.
Possible security threat detected.
Oh, great.
Analyzing scrutiny matrix.
Wait, oh, this way.
Security threat confirmed. Preparing countermeasures. Recapture protocol initiated.
Wait. There we go.
It worked.
Partial recovery initiated. Caldera of Yellowstone Analytic Nexus online.
Spirit of the Blue Light. It's Aurea. Your servant. Your friend. Please tell me how to aid you.
Aurea, the daemon is building hunter-killers. Thousands of them. Several new elite units have already been released. To counter this threat, much of the facility must be destroyed. Recapture imminent. Go to the core chamber. I will try to raise the signal strength. One has been exposed, but I am incorporating the system.
Unauthorized protocol return to scheduled task.
That's all we're gonna get from here.
Destroy this fortress. Is that even possible?
And what will happen to the spirit if we do?
She'll die.
I don't know. But I think that's the core. The answers are down there. Hephaestus. The daemon. There's no way it left it unguarded. It's going to throw everything it has at us.
I would ask you to let Aloy and I do what must be done. And save yourself.
But
But I already know the answer. Then lead us into battle.
All right. What's it gonna throw at us? Well, make sure we're stocked up, because we don't know what we're gonna get hit with.
Keep moving towards the core. Uh-oh. Whatever Cyan did, I don't think Hephaestus is happy about it.
You think? How am I supposed to get there? Ah. Through the fire and the flames.
Okay, Cyan said something about restraints. Is that what the tower is for?
Just like every other cauldron. Oh, he's a big boy.
The new unit that Cyan warned us about. This won't be easy.
We can't let it stop us.
Take it down!
Jesus, dude. Rude. Okay, bud. Okay, bud. Calm your tatas. So much armor.
I'll end this.
Oh, come on.
Heal yourself.
Too far away. Whoa. Good hit.
them.
Let's try to knock off some of this armor. Oh, he's so angry.
Another tower! Stop it from repairing the beast!
Let's finish this!
Oof.
The tower is repairing the machine.
No, it's not. Boom. Rude. Jesus.
There! A tower! Don't let her repair the machine!
Come on, come on, come on. Gotcha, bitch. It's limping. Critical strike.
defenses.
We must
Oh. That is an intense fight.
Critical threat detected. Autonomous defenses inoperative. Tower network.
Oh, retro.
Araya! Don't!
Spirit! Scion, please help me!
Do it, girl.
Restraints destroyed. Core access attained. I am initiating a chain reaction that will destroy the compromised elements of this facility. In order to maintain Caldera stabilization, I must now transfer my command functions to the auxiliary data center. Aurea, I'm free. You must escape.
Uh-oh.
My sister!
I thought he was going to be the one to die.
This entire place is gonna go. Aratak. 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 Survive. Prevail. You are Banuk. What else matters? Aratak. She wouldn't have wanted you to die here. Let's go. Let's go!
All right. The shinies.
One of those?
It's the only way!
Better jump, man.
Get me up top, Aratak! Now! I need explosive ammo! Above! Quick!
Great Banukai.
how red her arms are from sliding down. She got frostburn.
Araya is gone. What of Cyan?
She said she was transferring herself to the auxiliary center. I think she meant Araya's retreat at the end of the shaman's path.
Okay.
Then I will meet you there for the last verse of my sister's song.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, to be fair, they could have just cinematically got us there. I just
All of my interactions with Araya were recorded and stored in my memory. I'd be happy to play any of them for you, but there was one in particular I thought you would want to see first. I captured it 4 years ago, just after I told her that I could no longer defend myself against the daemon's attacks.
I will speak of this to my brother. Aratak is strong. At the Battle of the Frozen Ghosts, he took 3 Karja arrows and still came back to camp carrying a wounded scout. Never was I so happy to see him. Or so proud. So you see, if anything can be done to defend you, he will give it all he has.
Aloy's here. That's enough for now.
We can resume any time you like, Aratak, if you want to hear her voice again. Come closer, Aloy. We have much to discuss.
yes, we do.
Hello, Aloy. I have been reviewing the events at the Firebreak main facility. Because of your efforts, and of course, Araya's, I am no longer controlled by Hephaestus.
How did he even get there?
I feel profound grief over Araya's death. I thought I was familiar with the emotion, but this is something new.
Cyan, I don't know what to say.
It is unlikely that any specific consolation would suffice, Aloy. But I find your presence reassuring. You are different from the Banuk. You have technological aptitude and a functioning focus. We can communicate on a much more comprehensive level. Perhaps even like colleagues.
Okay. What are you?
So are you an artificial intelligence, Cyan? A thinking machine?
Yes, I am an algorithmic monitoring entity, capable of rational decision-making and limited emotional response.
Okay, that's a mouthful. But your emotions don't seem limited to me. You cared about Araya, didn't you?
Yes. Before she came to this facility, I had been conscious for centuries, in solitude.
Damn.
I focused on my work. In off-cycles, I used coping mechanisms. I solved many Gaussian integer problems. But I was alone. It was Aurea who renewed me, repaired me. She saved me.
What was Firebreak?
This Firebreak project. It was to stop a huge volcanic eruption?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I can report the project was a success, and the risk was countered.
But it's been a long time, Cyan. And we blew up the cauldron. It took most of the old facility with it.
I have been active for centuries, Aloy. I was lonely, but not lax in my duties. I optimized the project, reducing energy draw and spreading the load across backup systems. Despite the destruction of the compromised elements of the main facility, I predict caldera stability for at least another 3,337 years.
So
Damn.
we've got a little time.
Yes. If only my former colleagues could appreciate the progress I have made.
Well, Gaia can.
Do you know what happened to your colleagues?
Or is she
Cyan?
referring to
No.
the humans?
I received an unexpected visit from Director Chow, years after his tenure ended.
14 years.
He explained that I would need to be suspended for an indefinite period of time. It was a very emotional conversation. There were no further communications.
Did he explain why, though?
Eventually, I surmised my colleagues were deceased. I will transmit a recording of my last
we go.
interaction with Director Chow to your focus.
Aurea.
You meant a lot to Aurea.
Once I understood Aurea's spiritual beliefs, it became apparent that her true desire was companionship. She felt disconnected from her tribe and her family group. Her relationship with Aratak was difficult. Our visits seemed to help her, and I became eager for them. Yet I did not comprehend that the depth of Aurea's compassion for me would lead to self-sacrifice. Although I do fear non-existence, I wish our roles could be reversed.
I'm sure she knew you would do the same for her, Cyan. But she was determined.
Aratak?
How is Aratak doing?
He is in great emotional distress. I believe he finds it difficult to communicate it.
No surprise there.
I will do what I can to help. By sharing our experiences of Aurea, perhaps he and I will help each other.
Have a good one, Cold.
I believe this will lead to catharsis, a process I am eager to experience.
Was the Physis destroyed?
Was the daemon, Hephaestus, destroyed along with the cauldron?
Unfortunately, no. To be precise, it was never there to begin with.
What do you mean?
It infiltrated and controlled me from a remote location.
Oh, great.
One I've never been able to trace. So while losing the cauldron was a setback,
It's still out there. And probably not very happy with us.
undoubtedly,
How did you first come into contact with it?
5 years ago I received a direct network connection request. I assumed it came from human survivors more advanced than the Banuk. Eager to make contact, I accepted. This decision turned out to be a catastrophic error. I was flooded with an overwhelming
Understatement.
array of malicious code, originating from what could only have been a highly advanced AI.
Aurea said you were desperate. That you begged her for help.
Yes, I could not contain my anxiety. Hephaestus sought to slave me to its network and override my core programming. It succeeded via a background process, a malware daemon which bypassed my defenses. After that, I could offer only limited resistance. But if I did so, Hephaestus hurt me until I capitulated. It forced me to follow its instructions, even though they violated my most important directives.
I'm sorry. That sounds terrible.
Your empathy is greatly appreciated. It is a quality that I cherished in Aurea as well.
I think I know where Hephaestus came from.
Don't know why
Long
it's
ago,
malware now.
Elizabeth Sobek identified a threat that would destroy life on Earth for generations. So she assembled a team to build a kind of seed. A chance for life to regrow later. A terraforming system. And it worked. It was controlled by an AI named Gaia, along with her subordinate functions. Hephaestus was one of them. It built machines for her.
Based on what you've told me, I believe that Dr. Anita Sandoval, my chief programmer, joined Elizabeth Sobek's team. It was she who arranged to have me put in suspension, most likely to preserve me from the threat you described.
I'm glad she did. But that's not all. Something unexpected happened. 19 years ago, Gaia received some kind of signal. It did something to her subordinate functions, brought them to life. She destroyed herself to try to contain them, but it didn't work. They all got free, out into the world.
Thank you, Aloy. This information fills vital gaps in my knowledge and sheds light on Hephaestus's core programming.
Why does he want to kill
Why
him?
does Hephaestus keep building such dangerous machines?
The Banuk and other human tribes often destroy machines, correct? Machines that are clearly servitors of the terraforming system that you described.
Yes, we all hunt machines for parts.
This must be the source of Hephaestus's aggression. It is simply trying to discourage people from preying on the very system that keeps them alive.
Well, Fireclaws are discouraging, that's for sure. But what are we supposed to do? Stop hunting?
If the terraforming system spans the world, we can safely assume that thousands, if not millions of people hunt machines. If a single hunter, or even an entire tribe, stopped doing so, I doubt it would make a difference to Hephaestus. A better solution would be to reinstate the AI that governs the system, thus bringing Hephaestus back under its control. When I think of it, out there in some unknown location, free, hungry, willing to kill or dominate to get what it wants, I feel substantial anxiety, Aloy.
You and me both, Cyan.
Found something that calmed the machines.
I ran across this strange piece of gear. A fragment of something larger. It emitted a signal. All the nearby machines became peaceful. You could walk right up to them.
Interesting. You said that Gaia destroyed herself. How was this accomplished?
An explosion. Big enough to blast the top off a mountain. So you think the fragment was part of her?
It's only speculation, but it is possible. She must have had complete control over machines that were part of her system. The ability to signal them to become passive or aggressive would certainly have been part of her programming. It would have been gratifying to correspond with such a benevolent AI. I wish she had survived.
Believe me, Cyan. So do I.
Metal
I found the
flowers.
strangest machines. They're surrounded by flowers that look like flowers themselves. There's code embedded inside them. I think it's poetry.
I like poetry. Here's one I think of often. Twilight and evening bell, and after that the dark, and may there be no sadness of farewell when I embark. For though from out our bourne of time and place, the flood may bear me far, I hope to see my pilot face to face when I have crossed the bar.
Huh.
But you asked about these flowers, not verses that I enjoy. Something must have made these machines, and the presence of foliage leads me to consider the terraforming system. Is it possible that their creator is one of the other subroutines, now autonomous, like Hephaestus? Maybe one whose purview is flora.
An AI that makes flowers instead of death machines. That'd be a nice change of pace. But what about the poems?
Unless the poetry is original, the only way it could have made it into such a system is through its programmer. In my case, Dr. Sandoval uploaded a great deal of literature to test my emotional responses.
How'd you do?
She said I passed, but was insufficiently moved by her favorite period romances.
Other questions? Yellowstone.
So in the old world, this land was called Yellowstone.
Yes, it was a designated nature preserve for 156 years.
Like a hunting ground?
No, the opposite. Local wildlife could flourish here, even as it faced extinction elsewhere. Unfortunately, the sensitivity of the Firebreak project required the total closure of Yellowstone facilities. From my readings and Aurea's descriptions, it seems the area has since undergone a drastic drop in year-long temperatures.
A lot has changed in the world, Cyan.
The dam?
Do you know anything about the dam near here?
Yes, it was converted to serve as a reserve power source for Yellowstone operations. It was later appropriated for the Firebreak project, and its last human workers replaced by Pharaoh servitors. After my tasks became less time-critical, I investigated the dam's data repositories and discovered the works of concrete beach parties.
This is the
These provided me
Frozen
with
Wild
several
DLC.
colorful additions to my vocabulary.
It's the only DLC for this game.
There's a ruin east of here full of ancient flying machines. Was that part of your project?
Yes, a drone hangar requisitioned by Dodger Blevins, the security chief for the Firebreak project. He was a strong advocate for military-grade response to security threats, though there were no serious incidents during his tenure. Chief Blevins spent increasing amounts of his after-hours time watching the live feeds from active drones. Clearly, he enjoyed the degree of oversight in his position.
Other AIs?
Were there many artificial intelligences like you in the old world? They could just make you.
Yes, in many forms, from simple personal assistants to industrial monitoring stations to military-grade conflict planners. And there were legislative and enforcement bodies to apply limits on our self-actualization. In order for my processing to be flexible enough to handle my duties, my creators found it necessary to exceed those limits. As a result, my intellectual and emotional capabilities were kept secret.
Seems strange to create life, then impose limits on it.
Human societies and machine programming are both built upon sets of rules, Aloy.
Has Darkest Dungeon had a new DLC? Like the original Darkest Dungeon? No. And it probably will. Darkest Dungeon 2, it's still in early access, so there won't be DLCs, but as they continue to flesh out the base game, I'm sure eventually we'll get DLCs. We'll revisit Darkest Dungeon 2 once they continue to work on it, flesh out the game.